I'm very glad to say I have 2/3 of the Eliza Carthy Trio with me here. Eliza herself and Saul Rose. 2 out of 3 ain't bad. Thank you both very much for joining me.
Hello.
Eliza, I'm going to start off with you, if I may. I feel as if I'm talking to the sort of the Habsburgs or the Bourbons of the folk world, in that you are a member of an enormous dynasty. I've done a quick tot-up. You must tell me if I'm wrong about this. You've got 13 solo albums and 14 with various members of your family. What's it like being a princess?
Yeah. Today, kind of sticky.
That's a good answer. Yeah.
Okay, a sticky princess. That should be the name of your next tour.
Wow. That's not a bad idea, actually.
But it must be a great joy to be always surrounded. I mean, almost born genetically into this beautiful music.
It was a wonderful way to grow up, definitely. Yeah, with everybody singing, huge family parties, and of course the Waterson family singers as well. It was absolutely wonderful. The singing part of the clan has gotten smaller over the years, but it's still a huge family. So, yeah, it's great.
And here you are, you formed a trio. Is this just for this tour or for Sidmouth, or is this a permanent setup now with Saul and David?
It's just for this album. Conversations we've had before, for now. We've been touring all over the country this year, and it's been going really well. Saul and I have played together for a long time, and we wanted to bring someone else into the situation. And he was like, right, okay, well, we'll all bring what we bring. It's a trio. It's not me. I'm not the boss, So we all bring what we bring, and it's kind of thirds and thirds all round. We've all done our bit.
Well, Dave actually only agreed to join if we agreed to stop playing stuff we've been playing for 30 years.
That's fair.
Let's find some new things.
Totally fair.
And he brought a lot to the table actually, which is great.
Well, it is a good idea to keep things fresh, and nature of folk, it tends to be absolutely fine to sing a song that's two and a half centuries old. Nice to bring something a little bit original and fresh to it. Is that what we're going to be hearing this afternoon?
It's mostly trad, but it's just different. It's different stuff. It's just new material to us. But we're playing a tune today called "The Downfall of Gin," which was written around the time that the government decided to tax gin makers and taxed all the small batch gin makers out of London. There were 10,000 at one point. And Dave brought that tune. It's quite hard to play, but we'll do what we can.
Would a little gin help?
I think it might.
Yeah. Yes, it does help. It's funny that. But yeah, Dave's been doing a lot of research into Essex traditional music, so he's really brought that to the table, which has been great. Sort of different versions of things like The Blind Beggar of Bethnal Green, for instance. He's also a very accomplished classical and jazz player as well, and he's really into Turlough O'Carolan, so he's brought things like Planxty Charles Coote into the mix as well. So a little bit of an Irish influence, although we do remain mostly English.
Yeah.
And so that's what you will be hearing this afternoon. Will that be quite a lot of work coming off the new album?
I think everything we're playing today is on the new album. Yeah, literally everything.
There will be people in the audience shouting for old standards,
They'll be disappointed.
Yes, luckily for us, they don't get to write the set list.
We enjoy their tears as well. We like that.
You feed on them, don't you?
I do. I feed on tears.
Tell me about the new. First of all, tell me where people can get their hands on this new album. How do you get to it?
Bandcamp, wonderful website.
Just remind us of its name.
Bandcamp.com.
No, the name of the album.
Conversations we've had before, the Eliza Carthy Trio. And Bandcamp's a wonderful website where the artist gets most of the money, unlike a lot of record retailers who take a large cut. Bandcamp is for musicians, so it's the best place to buy music if you're going to buy music, not just from us, from anyone. Yeah.
This is the first digital-only release I've ever done. Have you ever done one before?
No, it's the same.
Yeah.
Same first, yeah.
So the people that come to the shows actually buy the download of the album by using their phones, using QR codes, which feels very, very sci-fi, very Jetsons. And then we go home in our flying cars.
Yeah.
Well, I was going to say, perhaps I'm speaking from the inside here as we're streaming this concert, trying to get an audience that's bigger than the one that you can just fit into one tent here on the Ham, or of people who can travel all this way down to Devon. But is that a good thing? Is the fact that vinyl, tape, CD no longer exists, really? These are all ancient, antique things. Is this a good thing for musicians? Because musicians are famously poor.
Yes, we are. And it isn't gone. but it's adapting, and we must adapt with it. So to have a digital-only release, I think, is a good thing. But the album that we did with Eliza's bigger band, The Restitution, had a limited run of vinyl. So it's still happening. I think you just have to pitch it right and try and judge the moment. And for us, the digital release was a no-brainer. It was quick and painless.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people, especially within our genre, but a lot of people in music fans do still buy vinyl. They buy special editions, they buy limited editions, they buy your sort of coffee table pieces of artwork, and they're sort of seen as much more prestigious, something you can hold in your hand, something you can smell when you open it, kind of thing. So it's not that I don't think vinyl's gone away, and I heard that tape's coming back, which is
people are putting
hilarious.
stuff out on cassette, which is
Yeah,
brilliant.
so-
Suits my old car.
But it's like we say, we have to adapt. Everybody has to adapt. So.
Yeah, but it's so the joy. You mentioned the artwork. It's the sleeve notes as well, isn't it? And you mentioned the smell. I can't buy a new book without sniffing the spine, but that might be a little problem of my own. Tell me, but that the physicality, the actual recording and holding it in your hand is part of the art, isn't it?
Yeah, very much so. And you can actually, we do have sleeve notes for the conversations we've had before. You can download them in PDF form from the website. So.
I'm beginning to feel like a grumpy old person having just heard what I've just said. But that's all right. I'm at the Sidmouth Folk Festival. How important is Sidmouth to you, Eliza?
Very important. I mean, aside from the fact that my father's the patron, I've been coming here since before I was born. I think my mum came here the year she was pregnant with me, because it's my birthday in 2 weeks. So, So I've been here since before, lots and lots of times.
I suspect there's quite a lot of begetting and conceiving going on in Bulverton campsite most years here.
Well, what happens in the tent stays in the tent.
I take it you're an old hand here as well, Saul?
Yeah, I think my first Sidmouth was 75, and I've not missed very many over the years. No, I absolutely love it. I live for it.
Why is it so important? Why does this thing have this incredible atmosphere, this incredible community that's unlike other... I mean, apart from the fact that it's a week long, but it's unlike any other festival I've known.
Well, I think if you take the location and the fact that the festival's spread out over the town, it's not all in one place. A lot of festivals are just in one field, whether they're multiple marquees or not, they're in one site. And this is all over the shop. I got a bus from the campsite this morning with all my accordions, and I love it, absolutely love it. And you get to see people, you get to talk to them, and... sometimes when we do a gig, we finish the gig and we go backstage and we say hello to the audience, but that's about it. And then we go to our hotel and we don't see them. When we're here, you're amongst it the whole time. So for me, it takes me an hour to walk down the Esplanade because I have to stop and talk to 1,000 people, and I love that. It's absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, my daughter hates it.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of.
But how old's she?
She's 12. There's a
Well,
lot.
she hates everything then.
Pretty much. She didn't like the violin last night. She was saying because I had the windows of the hotel room open when we got in quite late, and she's saying, "Mummy, why can I hear violins everywhere?" I said, "Darling, that's the Irish pipe." She said, "I don't care. It sounds like a violin. I don't like violins."
Who would complain about hearing violins everywhere in the night? There we are. No romance in her soul. There will be later on. Thank you both so much for talking to me today. It's been an absolute joy. I'll let you get away because you're back on stage in probably a little bit more than an hour, aren't you? So I better let you go and sort yourselves out. Have a wonderful afternoon. I hope you enjoyed as much as I know the audience will.
Thank you.
See you a bit later.